Gala. I've forgotten what Gala does. Can you remind me, please, Steph, what the fundamentals of Gala are? I'm looking this on a purely technical time frame. This is looking incredibly similar to many other altcoins at the moment. They're all in this. I've seen many with this basic pattern like this. So at the moment, it looks bullish. If I think we're going to go through an altcoin season, which I think we will, then I'd have to say it's looking bullish. But let's look at the technicals, okay? Obviously, the trend line is the one I want to look at. Has that been broken just yet? Are we almost there? Did we just break it? Oh, we did. Okay, so very positive for Gala. Okay, we have broken this trend line. Doesn't mean it will completely, completely stay that way. Anything can happen. But there's your descending triangle, or descending flag, if you want to call it that, right there. So that's a very clear breakout now. So that is confirmed breakout. Absolute confirmed breakout for Gala. Again, rising tide raises all ships, so it's probably looking good for many, many cryptos. Gala looks like it happens to be one of them. And look, if it's on Binance, you're pretty much going to be guaranteed it's going to go up with everything else because it's on Binance and it's like the world's largest exchange. So many people will just be trading on Binance. So they'll just trade anything that looks good, but it does look good. So this is the weekly time frame. So broken out on the weekly. What you will probably see, and not every single time, but what you tend to have is a breakout and a retest. I don't know if that will happen with this one. It doesn't always happen, but just beware. Great to see it break out. At some point, it might have a little bit of a short-term top, and then come and retest a certain level. If it's going to retest anywhere, it's going to retest right here. Now, don't wait. I wouldn't necessarily wait for a retest, but it will retest around about here. See that previous resistance level at about the 3.5 cent level. So I could see something like that. If Bitcoin has a little bit of a sell-off, okay, I could see something like that happening. And then that's the bounce off, and then that's the confirmation, and then onwards and upwards you go. I'm not saying it's 100% going to do that, so you could just sail to the moon from here, but just be aware a breakout to a certain point and then a retest is pretty natural. If you haven't gotten into Gala yet and you're waiting for a dip, I wouldn't wait for the dip because it may not come. Okay, but if it dips more, hey, put half of your investable amount that you want to put into Gala. Do it now, for example, because you've seen that breakout. And then, hey, if it comes back down to there and you see it find it as support, then that would be a confirmation signal to really do your other half, or the rest of your dry powder for Gala. So let's talk about confluence with the Fibonacci. Is there confluence? Let's take from the high and the low. Let's see. So the high, so this was 2 cents. It had a high of 82 cents. Good to see. High and the lows of 1.2, 1.3 cents. Do we have any confluence? Well, no, because it's been such a large range that we're not even into that area yet. Okay. But I do think that these will probably respect, as this is going up, if it continues to go up and we go up into this, this general range here, I think this, because Fibonacci, crypto follows Fibonacci pretty well. So I would see these as levels of support and resistance along the way. So I would probably expect to be levels of confluence here. So the big major area, you've really got to close above 20 cents. I would like to call that I'm going to call that my getting excited line. Okay, so the getting interested line is technically not a line. The getting interested area is the breakout right here. So I'm interested. So I'll pop it here, actually. That's where I'll say, right there. We'll call it about 4 cents. Cool? Cool. So I'm already interested in this. So 4 cents getting interested. So I'm already interested in this. Okay, it's on the right hand, it's on the left hand side over there. My getting excited line is, and that's, geez, can you imagine getting in at 4 cents and then getting out, if you want, or taking some profits at the 20 cent getting excited line? Okay, that's right there, and I'll put this on the right hand side so you can see that, and I'll put that on the right hand side so you can see that. There you go. 4 cents. I'm interested in Gala. That's very interesting. I mean, here's the problem with the thing with altcoins though. There's thousands of them, and again, in an altcoin market, rising tide raises all ships. So it's really what's the word I'm looking for? Tempting to see another chart. And it's only because you've requested this chart, Steph, where I've gone, oh, that looks interesting too. But I've got so many other altcoins that are doing this exact same thing. But now in my head, I'm going, oh, I think I want to get into Gala as well. The problem there is you don't want to spread yourself thin. If I can give you any advice, and this is advice for me at the same time, do not spread yourself thin over 50 different altcoins because they're all looking like they're doing the same thing. Stick to the ones that you are confident with because your brain can't handle more than about 5, and it just gets so confusing, and you've got a whole long of charts and you're watching these so many things. You will miss the top. You will miss tops if you are looking at too many altcoins. So I like the look of Gala. It looks really good to me. I'm probably not going to get into it, even though it looks really good at this stage. It's looking positive. Altcoin season is probably coming. And can you imagine? I would say this is more for people who aren't in crypto or aren't in many altcoins at the moment. Can you imagine getting in around about here and just getting out at the getting excited line? So you're not even waiting for all-time highs. You're just getting out at this major area. That's a 330% gain. Come on, man. Right? Now, if you're going to get into it, if you want to make a decent bit of money, you've got to get into it with size. That's one of the big top tips for investing. If you're confident with something, don't just put $1,000 in it. If you've got $10,000 to spend, don't spread it over 10 different altcoins. Find 1 or 2, maybe 3, 5 tops that you're really confident on and go in with size. So if you're confident with Gala, Steph, for its fundamentals, don't just put $500 in, right? Put a decent chunk in because a 330% move on $10,000, for example, I'm not telling you to put $10,000 in, but as an example, well, there you go. That's a decent profit, isn't it? If you are confident on this particular altcoin, right? On Gala. But imagine being Mr. or Mrs. Safety, and you want to wait until we start closing above the getting excited line. What's the final hurdle that would suggest to me new all-time highs are coming? I'm not going to suggest new all-time highs are coming with this one because this is taking it out to sort of April. Probably your top for the altcoin market, for the crypto market, is going to be sort of your October, November. I'm not going to definitely say an all-time high is coming for this one, but your final hurdle, look, we'll pop it in. Sorry, I should pop it in. I think it's going to be the 61.8 is your final hurdle for new all-time highs. Normally I would say the 78.6, but no, I'm going to put it here at 50 cents, 51 cents. Cool. 51 cents final hurdle for new all-time highs. That would be the signal for me that if you crack and start closing any month above 51 US cents, then that would say, oh, it's going to break an all-time high, right? Imagine getting in here and selling most of your position at the final hurdle of 50 cents. That's a 1,000% move. I'm not saying it's going there, but even imagine doing the following. Imagine really waiting for confirmation. You want to wait for the getting excited line. So it starts closing above 20 cents. So that's looking good. And you have to be convincingly over on a monthly time frame, not spiking, but closing. Okay. And then I'm going to get in here and get out here before the final hurdle because I'm not sure if it will make new all-time highs. That's a 130% move. Yeah. So that's it. And look, if for some reason we do start cracking all-time highs, I don't necessarily think we will on Gala. It's got a lot of room to move and maybe not as much of a time frame to do it. Could be completely wrong. But your major areas I would be looking out for would be, yeah, but again, I like the 2.618 and the 4.236. So that is just me. Other people would completely disagree, but I would say between here and here. So it's at April, May, June, July, August, September, October-ish. Between about there and there would be the major profit-taking area. That's between about $2.15 and $3.50. I don't know if it's going to get to there, okay? But just bear that in mind. It's around about there. Cool. Major profit taking. Cool? Cool. Get it? Got it? Good. And that's where you would be getting out of probably 80% of your position and leaving 80, 90%, leave 10 to 20% in the bag. Always leave 10 to 20% in the bag because you never know. It could just shoot for the absolute moon. But imagine, hey, let's just blue sky think, and I'm not saying anything like this is happening. But imagine getting into the getting interested line, you've broken this major trend line right there. Let's say you're waiting until it bounces off and then shows strong support, and then you get in at around about your 4 cents, 5 cents kind of mark, and you ride it to the major profit taking area, and then you sell at about 0.5%. That's 4,500%. I'm not saying you should be taking profits along the way. I would imagine you would take some profits here. So that's your TP1. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. This is your TP1. TP1, take profit. So your first taking profit area is at 20 cents. Your second, I never do this, but maybe I'll start doing it. Your second taking profit area is at 50 cents, TP2. So you should be, and you should be, because you should always be taking profits, you should be scaling out at certain major levels. That's the first major level at 20 cents. That's the second major level at 51 cents, about 50 cents. And that's your final TP3 major profit taking area at that $2.15 to $3.50. So imagine selling some of it here, 360%, selling some of it here, 1,100, 1,200%, selling the last bit of it here at 4,500%. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean any of this is doing anything, and crypto could crash tomorrow. Get it? Got it? Good. That has been Gala. Final comments, and then we'll get out of here.
Good morning, Stacker. Oh, yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stacker. It's podcast time. Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove. Synchronize, slurp. Now we're on the move. Good morning, Stacker. Oh, yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, Stacker. It's podcast time.